come arrest him.
At a city park, I can go there and I could scream obscenities all day. There's nothing you guys can do about that.
And take him to jail with none of his stuff.
Failure to wear clothing covering the upper body, clear violation of the First Amendment.
He's sleeping outside the jail lobby all night.
This is the people's building. It's not your personal, privately owned business. And if it was, you could say no red shirts.
He's got nothing warm. They give him a blanket and tell him to hit the road.
It's policy. And we're not bound to the policy. We're bound to the law.
If these people don't start getting their shit together.
When you swear no to the Constitution, it's not just a formality to get the job, sir. So I'm asking you to please honor your oath and let's get rid of this.
One by one by one by one. And I mean it, because I'm done.
Hey guys, Denver Metro Audit, aka the Mile High Auditor. We're back at Englewood Civic Center, City Hall here. I'm gonna do a little public comment. It's been a week since the last one that I did about the body odor, so we're just gonna come in here and do a little follow-up and see what's going on with that. So let's go check it out, guys.
If you haven't seen part 1 of my redress of the unconstitutional standards of behavior policy posted in every Englewood City facility, make sure you check that one out so you're all caught up to date. I made a playlist called Englewood Public Comment. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy the video.
So you can see they still have it up there. Here it is. Unsanitary bodily hygiene. So they didn't take it down. I didn't think they would, but we're going to address some other stuff on here too that I missed last time. I only missed it because I was in such a rush to try to get this one done. I didn't really go through it very thoroughly, but Big Sis over there pointed it out to me, so let's go upstairs and see if they got that one up there still too. Yeah, it's still up there. This is where Regan and I first noticed it. Well, Regan noticed it way before me, but
there's that behavior standard thing signed by Shawn Lewis.
If multiple prior exclusions the last 3 years, maybe for up to 180 days, 6 months, that they're telling you they want to kick you out of here. And then last but not least, law enforcement may be called. And a citation or fine may be issued.
I would love to see what law that is. That you can't be in here with body odor.
I know.
What if you get banned for 6 months, but then you get a trespassing ticket and you have to come in here? I mean, then what happens?
You got a trespassing ticket and you got to come to court in the same place you were trespassing. Well, then you're probably going to have to write Shawn Lewis, and we'll have to file a motion with the judge to give you special rights to come in the building. Oh, we're good. We're just giggling at this ridiculous city government. You got to be a little embarrassed, don't you? No, you're fine.
You think it's okay for them to restrict free speech like they are right here on this standards of behavior thing?
No comment. No comment. You're just going to hang the signs.
You're just going to follow orders without question?
Hit the panic button.
Oh, they're hitting the panic button on us. She just told him to hit the panic button.
Really?
Wow, lady, seriously?
What was that?
You just told him to hit the panic button on us?
No, I didn't.
You gotta have a key card to swipe the door open. So I asked this man right here if he'd let me use the restroom. And he says, who are you? Who are you? What's
Look, he put his
What's your
he
name?
put his name tag in
his pocket.
pocket. Why were you called here? You called here for us or what?
Do you guys need help? Can I come talk to you for a second?
Yeah, did we break the law or something? Why would you guys call the police on us?
Look at this shit show.
Everything was fine until they called the police on us because I asked that lady for her name, I guess. I don't know why somebody would initiate force on free Americans just because I asked a public employee their name. That's kind of ridiculous.
Cool. All right. Have a good day, buddy.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Yep.
All right, guys. So that was a fail. So I guess that didn't work out for you, huh, lady? I don't know why you guys would call the police on free Americans when we didn't commit a crime. Why would you guys do that? That lady told this guy to hit the panic button because I asked her for her name. You guys need to do better, man. You guys can't initiate force on free Americans unless we break the law. Asking you your name isn't a crime, okay? You don't call the police on someone because they asked you for your name. That's ridiculous, man. Everything that the police do is either with force or at least the threat of force, right? Otherwise, why no one would listen to them. So. You're initiating force on free Americans who didn't break the law. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Sir, why would you hit the panic button? Yeah, but why would you hit the panic button on me then?
I didn't hit a panic.
Yeah, she came over here and told you to hit the panic button, remember? And now 5 minutes later, the cops show up. You don't know? You don't know how the cops got here?
This one here, actually the one down in the downstairs, is the one that she showed me the first time. So they have them everywhere still. City Manager Shawn Lewis introduced himself to me prior to this meeting, and I thought I hit record, but I actually didn't. My bad, guys. Once I realized I wasn't recording, I hit record and tried to ask him some clarifying questions so I could at least get something on the record. But essentially what he told me was that they're looking into the unsanitary bodily hygiene policy and assured me that in no way is it intended to discriminate against the homeless. Of course, he's going to say that. I don't know this man, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He then proceeded to tell me that he actually adopted this policy from Longmont, where he was previously the assistant city manager, and the original policy had to do with foot odor. It also had to do with strong perfume smells. So Mr. Lewis believes he can legally ban foot odor and strong perfume smells. So my bad about not getting that part on the record, but I did salvage at least something for you guys. All right, let's check it out.
To know if Longmont still has the policy on the books. I'll have to get on their website and see. To know if Longmont still has the policy on the books. I'll have to get on their website and see. But it's something that we worked on a lot with a lot of different staff members that were in our parks and rec and library areas. So there you go.
Thank you. So just to clarify, so then because I saw on the website that you were Longmont too, you're also there as well as here. Mm-hmm. So they were having issues with people with foot odor, and so then you just kind of adopted that policy for here, and then also with the people who had strong smelling perfume that people were allergic to, so that was the other issue.
Yeah, it was a lot of our facilities folks were in on the standards of behavior. When we were creating that would have been in maybe 2017, 2016. So I don't know how many of those folks are still on staff, but what they were telling us is kind of everything that went wrong. Like in the senior center, we had people that would try to ride scooters into the senior center, and we had to say, sorry, if this is not a mobility issue, you can't ride your scooter in the senior center. And so because that was like a problem for that building. In the library, it was, people taking off their shoes.
Does requiring footwear serve a significant government interest? I would say it doesn't, because bare feet do not create a sanitary problem, and libraries contain no particular hazard to barefooted patrons. Now, although dropping a book on a bare foot might be a hazard, does that mean sandals should be prohibited in libraries? I can't imagine that simply being barefoot would disrupt the library. Therefore, prohibition of bare feet would not be even-handed, making footwear requirements to be viewpoint discriminatory.
I think in the rec center, maybe somebody in the rec center said it's the perfume. So it was just kind of a broad group of people. And we had a similar group that were working on that here. But, the foundation of that list kind of came from that work in Longmont.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for clarifying. And like I said, I'm going to address a couple other things that were on there that I found that I missed. So.
Okay.
And then I got your contact info, so I'll shoot you an email. We can correspond that way.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Justice for all.
Only one speaker tonight. We have Christopher Cordova here to address council. Good evening, Mr. Cordova. If you could just state your name and your address for cross streets.
My name's Christopher. I'm not going to give my address, and I'm back today to readdress the standards of behavior. And before, just about 20 minutes ago, I actually had a conversation with Mr. Lewis, and he informed me that you guys are looking into it, or that he's looking into it. I guess it was a policy that he had adopted from Longmont, I believe. Mr. Anderson, last time you had asked me if there's anything else in here that is unconstitutional that I saw. Upon further review, there's actually several things, so I want to get right into it. But before we do that, I'd like to address the things that are not unconstitutional. So we do have some legitimate things here. We got threats, harassment, vandalism, stuff like that. Mr. Lewis, these things are already illegal, so this seems a bit redundant to me. I mean, we could put any old thing on here. I mean, we could put murder one. It's against our policy to murder anyone in an Englewood City facility. It seems silly to me. Honestly, it seems a bit patronizing to me because we're all adults here, and the way this is written is like, we don't need to be told that we're not supposed to harass people or threaten people, stuff like that, right? But let's jump right into the unconstitutional stuff that I noticed. Disruptive activity / behavior such as noise, music, or voices. Clear violation of the First Amendment, Mr. Lewis. Now, again, this is vaguely written. So downstairs in the library, that is a limited public forum. So my First Amendment protected activity cannot disrupt the rest of the patrons' use of the library. So I can't go in there banging drums and hollering obscenities. But it says right on here, Mr. Lewis, city parks. So that's a traditional public forum. And we have the most protection under the First Amendment in a traditional public forum. So at a city park, I can go there and I could scream obscenities all day. There's nothing you guys can do about that. Bringing in personal possessions or garbage with foul odor, that goes again with the body odor stuff. So what is garbage to you or you guys may not be garbage to someone else. Maybe that is everything they own. And I mean, this doesn't seem like even a legitimate scenario. I mean, do you guys have an issue with people bringing in bags of garbage that's stinking up the place? I mean, maybe it doesn't seem very legitimate to me. Leaving personal property unattended. I hope that you don't think that you can ban someone for leaving their backpack somewhere. Failure to wear clothing covering the upper body, clear violation of the First Amendment. Mr. Lewis, you can't ban someone for wearing a bikini. It does say genitalia. Of course, I can't come in here naked, but this is public. This is the people's building. It's not your personal, privately owned business. And if it was, you could say no red shirts, no bikinis. But if somebody wants to wear a bikini in a public facility, that's protected under the First Amendment. Pornography viewing. Now, although I do not advocate for people watching pornography in public, I'm also against the idea of banning it. And it's a slippery slope. And I think it's dangerous, but I don't have time to go into all the details with that right now, maybe on the next one. But I will just say that the benefit does not outweigh the risk. And Mr. Lewis, you can't do it because it's illegal. So you will get yourself in some trouble with some civil rights lawsuits if you guys try to kick someone out for that. There's lots of things on here. I don't have time to go through everything, but that's just a big bulk of it right there. There's definitely more stuff on here. So I appreciate you, Mr. Lewis, having the conversation with me, saying that you're looking into it. I wanted to bring the rest of this stuff to your attention. Really, what I think we want, the people want, we just want this to go away. We don't need to be told that we're not allowed to harass people or vandalize things or steal stuff. And this policy here, it's policy. And we're not bound to the policy, we're bound to the law. So regardless, you can make policy for the city employees, but we don't have to abide by this, and you actually have no authority to ban anyone, even if they break the law here. So if somebody comes in here and harasses someone and the police are called and they get trespassed, they can come back the next day if they have business here. Now, if they want to get in trouble and do it again, that's on them. They keep getting trespassed, so maybe the courts could determine that they can't come back, but you as the city manager, sir, don't have the authority to ban anyone. So I just want to say, I know I'm running out of time, that when you swear no to the Constitution, it's not just a formality to get the job, sir. So I'm asking you to please honor your oath and let's get rid of this.
Mr. Cordova, thank you very much for your time tonight. Any questions for members of council? Seeing none, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Cordova. All right, that concludes scheduled public comment. We're moving on to unscheduled public comment. Same rules apply, but you're limited to 3 minutes. Up first is Regan Benson, here to speak to Englewood's response to homelessness.
Good evening, City Council. Regan Benson, Helping Hands for Dignity Coalition. You're looking at frostbite right now. Real cases. Right there, that one is purely black now. That man, same foot, he's losing at minimum half of his foot. That man had his finger amputated. These are real people that us advocates, unpaid advocates, have worked with out here on the streets. One man had that foot right there,
had 3/4 of his leg amputated. This is from lack of response and emergency preparedness. That man right there, that foot, he laid on a bench in Englewood for weeks. And your city spent $1.4 million partnering with Tri-Cities Homelessness. And it says right there in their charter what they're responsible for, and it's response to homelessness. I took this man to the doctor today. I'm essentially married to this man for probably the next 6 months. 3 times a week, wound care, podiatrists, orthopedists. Do you know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars that is on the healthcare system? Because of a lack of emergency preparedness in your city. These are real people. Guess what else I learned today? This man, severe dehydration, hypothermia, malnutrition, had no clue what was going on. Your city cited him twice for urinating in public because the man can't walk. Guess what else I found out today? His family's been looking for him for 3 months because he is in the HMIS system that Mike Sandgren can't seem to access through Tri-Cities Homelessness to do a simple VASPADAP. You've heard me talking about that as well. You guys are very lucky nobody died. At least I haven't got word yet that nobody died in Englewood. We're still missing a 73-year-old man from the last 4 days. 73 years old, had police contact. This is the first time I can ever stand here and say that the Englewood PD pretty much did a consistently good job until they turned around and arrested this guy that's gonna come talk to you. That's it.
Ms. Benson, thank you for your time. Any questions? Member Wright.
Ms. Benson, you mentioned HMIS system.
Homeless Management Information System.
And can you explain to me what that is? I don't know.
It's a government system, and providers that serve the homeless have access to that through their nonprofit. They can track people. They can track their housing process. So that's what it's for. It's primarily accessed by larger organizations, Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, Denver Rescue Mission, and the like. Some smaller nonprofits can access that system, but it's costly and it takes a lot of training.
Do the police access it?
No, but you do have a contract with All Health, and they most certainly have access to that system.
And do you know if All Health had contact with the gentleman?
They did have contact with him. He refused shelter a couple of times. He was confused. I went out there, had a very difficult time getting him off the street, but we got him into a motel. He would have died had we not.
So if All Health had contact with him, then they would have entered his information into the system, or should have?
Not necessarily.
Okay, and you as your organization would enter his information into the system?
No, I do not have access to the HMIS system.
You do not?
I do not.
Okay. Do cities have, do cities use this? So, I'm confused.
Cities can use it, yes.
Okay, so the police should use this so that if they have contact, you said this man family has been trying to contact him, had police.
That really wouldn't be a role of the police. It would be a role of the third-party contract provider that you have that provides these services, All Health.
Okay, I think this warrants further discussion and education. Thank you so much, and thank you for getting him off the street.
Yes, ma'am.
We appreciate you.
Ms. Benson, with no further questions, thank you very much for your time tonight. Up next is Rick H. To also speak about homelessness.
Hello, Council. My name is Ricky Hamilton.
I'm currently transient in Englewood. I was in the police department the other day. I was transferred there and released as soon as I got there. And they kept me apart from my property and told me I could go down there on Martin Luther King Day to get my property out, which was false. I mean, you could have told me that, and I'm spinning my wheels. I'm spinning my wheels trying to get my property and give them false information about where my property is. I also lost my watch, did not give me a receipt for my watch. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, I was invited here tonight, was that we're looked as a collective of all of us, and a lot of the mentally ill that are on the street. And then, you see us with a backpack and think all of us are. I'm a science major. I'm paying my daughter's rent and helping her go through school. And I'm being treated like a secondary citizen, and the HMIS that she's talking about or whatever, I was denied a hotel because of this. Because last year I had a hotel room and a girl passed away in my room. She had a seizure in her sleep and passed away, and now I cannot get service through that. It wasn't my fault. I called them and let them know, and they came, and I was dismissed by the investigation that they did in the room. It's upsetting to be treated like a secondary class citizen. And we can go to Denny's. The guys there won't serve anybody there, and it's 24 hours. Last time I went there, I spent $44 in tipped, and I went there last time. I sat there an hour, and she would not bring me a menu, and it was because of the manager. I called corporate, and they said thank you, but I think a little bit more education should be done about the homeless that are out here and the collective view as far as who we are and what we are, and the mentally ill. I mean, really. I grew up in the system, falsely diagnosed, everything privatized. You don't even want me to get into that. But I just came back to after 23 years, and this place is messed up. It feels like the citizens are being sold out here, really, to tell you the truth. And it's just for, make room for money, But whatever. That's, the mentally ill here is put out on the streets in front of everybody and dropped off even in downtown. And everybody thinks that we're all like that. And some of us are waiting for housing. I've been on housing since 2020, and I'm disabled. I'm 50 years old. Since I've been here, I've been stabbed. I had my teeth knocked out, and I'm just waiting to die, pretty much. And a lot of people that are in these housing are dying as soon as they get there. I don't know what it is, but I don't think really anybody's taking care about, say, the homeless or those without money to defend themselves. They're written off or put off. They're not given full information or kept at bay.
Mr. Hamilton, thank you very much for your time tonight. Any questions for members of council? Go ahead, Member Wright. Mr. Hamilton, we have a couple questions for you.
I want to let you know that I do care and I am listening. Have you been in touch with Movement 5280 and the services that they provide, or any other organizations to help possibly get you into housing and that type of thing?
Yes, ma'am. And I've been going to the current shelter that they had in place at the Lutheran place, and they left a non-staff member there, actually a guy who's in a halfway house there in charge. Someone is like me, who is using services, and the lady who's in charge there left him in charge, and they trespassed me. And on the trespass, it says representative of the church or this property. That guy is using a facility like I am. So now I can't even get service there.
At the Lutheran place?
Lutheran church, yeah.
Okay, but not at Movement 5280. They're offering...
I went there, and I tried to get shelter for the hotel voucher, and said, the HMI has me. The guy said, yeah, you qualify for it. Sat down and said, oh, you're flagged. The lady the young lady who passed away last year, as soon as we got the place, we were in this Motel 6. I woke up, and I went to go get breakfast. I said, hey, we got to get out. And I didn't know she was already dead, but I came back in the room, and she chewed her tongue. She had a seizure in her sleep, and never came to. And I beat myself up for a while over that, because I'm an ocean science man. I can bring someone back and I'll watch them out for them and CPR. And I felt really bad about that. And now I'm tagged with that, and I can't use the service. And I was never charged with anything. I didn't do any wrongdoing or anything. And I cannot use the service. I haven't flagged, so I don't know what that meant to her.
And Miss Benson has your information?
Yes, she
does. Okay.
We've been talking, and she's helped me out the last couple of nights where the police have sent me in circles They've helped me out, and they give me a sleeping bag, but my property's still missing. I was never given up property receipts. Just basically what I was saying is I'm gonna look at second-class citizens, and I didn't get proper receipts for my property. And then they said, I got to make a claim. And then they sent me down there when it's Martin Luther King Day. I didn't know the offices. I don't know the hours. He told me to go down and get my property. I have my debit card in there, my laptop, and everything I need, my ID, because everything is stolen. I understand that people here probably tainted all their stuff being stolen all the time, but it's not everybody.
Okay, I appreciate you telling me what's going on. I think
I have one question.
Okay, all right. There's some more questions. I appreciate you coming here, and I am so sorry that you're going through this right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Member Wright. Mr. Hamilton, just one question. I think you just clarified it. So you have not received all your property back?
No, I haven't. I'm missing my watch and a necklace, and I had a hoodie up under this one here. I'm still wearing the same. And I didn't get that back. It was not even written like fully what I had on. And if I wanted to say, hey, I want my stuff back, or it was a very important shirt or watch that my dad gave me or something, I can't even.
That was from jail.
That's from the jail, yes. But the thing with the church was I can't even I can't dispute none of this stuff, because I'm looked upon as homeless and maybe probably mentally ill too. It's just we're looked at as a collective, and it's not all of us are there.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Member Russell, go ahead.
My question was about your property also, and so I appreciate that, and I'm sorry you're going through this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Member Russell. With no further questions, Mr. Hamilton, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Bless you.
Have a good one, sir.
Hey, you too.
Their hours to come to shelter are only 6 to 7. So if you don't get there by 7, you're locked out. So Ricky's there at 9. He's had some injuries. He had staples in his head. He's got all kinds of shit going on. But he gets there at 9. And they won't let him in Friday night. So I called Englewood PD. I said, what are you going to do? That sergeant ended up driving him out to Aurora. Found an overnight shelter in Aurora. Aurora kept him 2 nights. And then Ricky had to make his way back here. So he goes back to that shelter. This dude he's talking about starts giving him shit in the shelter, and he's running the shelter. He's making the decisions to call the cops, and the dude's just barely in sober living. So he wants him to move his bags, and he's like, give me a minute. He's like, no, I don't have to. And they call the cops. And they come arrest him on a warrant out of Jeffco, a traffic warrant out of Jeffco, and take him to jail with none of his stuff. They kept all his warm gear here in Englewood, take him to jail. The jail's like, yeah, fuck this, we'll book you and throw you back out. He's sleeping outside the jail lobby all night. He's got nothing warm. They give him a blanket and tell him to hit the road. So he gets on the fucking light rail and comes back over here. And he's going to try to go talk to the woman that runs the shelter last night, which would have been the next night. And I just happened to be there. And the bitch threw him out and told him if he didn't leave, and he didn't even get a chance to talk to her. She's like, get out. Or I'm calling the cops. I'm like, Ricky, let's go. So took him back to Englewood. PD took him to Denver. He'd spent the night in Denver last night, cleared out on Quebec. And so now he's got nowhere to go. And all I'm doing is hooking him up with warm gear. And I want to talk to him about getting him one night if we can. I tried to get him a motel last night. Every place, there was no rooms. If these fucking people don't start getting their shit together for things like this, and start putting some fucking policies in place, Yeah, one by one by one by one. And I fucking mean it, because I'm done. Englewood has gotten away with this shit for way too long. We're gonna go over and see if I can get him a room. So
Okay.
it was
Cool.
good talking to you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate the coverage at least. And,
Look at my brother, Pablo.
you're making them. You are making them shit their pants. So if you want to
Media.
keep it up, that's
Media.
great.
Yeah.
My brother.
Good luck, bro. It's nice to meet you, Ricky.
Nice to meet you.
All right. All right, guys, so that's that one. We'll be back on the next one to see what's transpired, if they're going to get rid of that thing, because we just want it completely gone at this point. We don't want it revised. We just want it to go in the trash where it belongs. There's so many unconstitutional policies in there, many of which I didn't even get to address because you only get 5 minutes. I think I'm locked out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to walk all the way around. So thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it. If you like my content, like and subscribe. If you've been subscribed for a while, consider checking out my memberships. They start at only $2.99 a month to support the DMA channel and unlock your perks. And until next time, guys, love and light.